So 25 years ago, this is what the dunk contest in the NBA looked like.
Man, doing all this.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we're going to be back in the Bay Area for All-Star Weekend a quarter century later, and a G Leaguer is headlining this once-beloved competition.
So your 2024 18.
This is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
That actually makes me so sad. We have lost the plot with the dunk contest and just All-Star Weekend as a whole. Look, I'm going to sound like an old head, but it needs to be said. At the end of the day, that's what the media is here for. This whole all that matters is a championship mentality is no question hurting the NBA product. I mean, there's already thousands of think pieces about this, but pretty much every big issue facing the league and just sports in general can be traced back to this mentality. From load management, which was started by Greg Popovich and the Spurs in hopes that it would have them more fresh for the playoffs, to downplaying legendary performances from stars in the regular season like Joel Embiid's 70-point game last season because, oh, he hasn't made it to a conference finals yet. If I see that Drewski running meme one more time, man, it's like the most repetitive joke on NBA Twitter. To the current state of All-Star Weekend right now, where players are scared to actually try in the game because they don't want to risk injury. Like, I saw Bronny and Bron decline to do the skills competition together. Man, that would have been such an iconic moment, but that's stripped away because LeBron wants to preserve his body for the playoffs. And I'm starting to realize that this is starting to sound like one of those think pieces that you see across the cesspool that is the internet. I love LeBron. I'm not trying to make this about LeBron. I'm not trying to make this about any individual player. I'm just showing examples. But there's no getting around the fact that in an entertainment product, this is an obvious problem. And I think players too often forget that they're in the entertainment industry. The number one priority should be to make your product as engaging as possible throughout the entire calendar year. And there's this crossroads, and I get it, where obviously from a player's POV, all they care about is trying to win a championship. I do think though there's some validity in the idea that their perspective needs to change in this. Athletes are like any other entertainers. TV talk show hosts, actors and actresses, etc. It would be like your favorite TV show just not airing one week unannounced. And this is where sports are just a one-of-one business because I guess players rightfully so don't have to worry about these logistics. They can leave it up to the league office. And the thing is that they don't feel the repercussions that a TV talk show or actor faces. Like, a main character actor in a TV show is a driver to the show going on air. But if, let's say, hypothetically, Giannis decides to not play on any given night, the game can still go on. They don't actually need Giannis to be there, like absolutely need him to be there. Then zoom out and there's 30 different teams and just a whole ass infrastructure, so it's different and players have way more leverage, I get that, than like any other corporate America example you can think of. But this shit is just so sad, man. Like, let's first take a look at the All-Star game. If you even watched it last year, salute to you. If you've been watching the last few years, salute to you. Because ever since like 2013, 2014, it just turned into a three-point shooting chuck contest where they shoot like 50 threes a quarter. I mean, it's like what, 200 threes a quarter maybe, or 200 threes a game, sorry. 200 threes a game. The score's like 250 to 227. It's like ridiculous. I'll see the key moments on Twitter and probably check into the broadcast every now and then, but I'm not actually watching the full game itself. And Kobe said it best back in 2019 as to why the current game is so broken. RIP to the Mamba.
I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping. Fans want to see the best pickup game in the world.
Yeah.
That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
It ain't billions of people watching.
For real. Definitely do.
Like, I would gladly have them shorten the season to 40 games if we had to get players to respect every aspect of the league. Because that's what you're doing when you choose not to participate or to not give it your all. It would be like a guy being up for 6th Man of the Year and voluntarily declining the award. It would then lose all of its value if the recipient didn't respect the honor, because not to get too deep here, but that's literally all life is. We place artificial values on everything. Then we get to the tragedy that's been the dunk contest. Over the last 5 years, only 6 of the 19 players were consistent starters on their teams the season they participated. There's been 24 players overall if you obviously count repeats, and still, it would be 6 of the instances if you're to hypothetically break up, for example, Mac McClung's 3 different trips as 3 different players. It's no question that's a major problem. We're not just talking all-stars, just NBA starters are declining the competition, where roughly only 25% of the contest participants consist of players who started the season they participated. And of those 6 starters, just 1 was an all-star in Jaylen Brown last year, which shout out to Jaylen. I know people shout all over his performance, but I really commend him for doing it. Then we get to the real tragedy, Mac McClung. Now, this is not meant to be Mac hate, but we're just calling it how it is. McClung has played in just 3 games the past 3 seasons. I said 3 games the past 3 years, yet he's now set to compete in his 3rd straight dunk contest. The face of the dunk contest is a player who's in the NBA G League. Reminder, it's the NBA dunk contest, keyword NBA. And look at his fellow 3 participants in this year's competition set to take place next month in San Francisco. 2 rookies, Modest Buzelos and Stephon Castle, then second-year guard Andre Jackson Jr. for the Bucks, who averages 3.6 points per game. LeBron, if you can hear me, please save us. LeBron, if you can hear me, please save us. Like, call me a casual all you want for this opinion, but this does not make me want to watch a dunk contest, let alone an actual casual fan who only tunes in like a couple broadcasts a year. At the end of the day, we've lost the meaning of what All-Star Weekend is supposed to be, a celebration of the beautiful game that is basketball, appreciating the little things. Not resting and taking the week off in hopes that this extra rest will be what gets our teams over the hump come May and June. Don't miss new episodes of the Step Through Show dropping daily Monday to Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, or you're going to make our Aura King Shay cry.